Well, we're back for yet another video, and this one is in a string of videos that I've put up about this six-wheel drive Land Rover Perentie ambulance. The reason there's a whole string of these is a whole bunch of things I've discovered that I needed to fix before I can take a 1000k trip with it. I've recently noticed there's a little jingle underneath, and it's short notice. I found it's the suspension struts and the rubbers that have rotted off them. So, apparently when I picked this thing up 12 months ago, all of the bushes had been replaced. That is not true. I think the mechanic was lying to the owner. Anyway, I have found these. They're not strictly the right thing. They're little nylon bushes. They should at least fill the gap in the suspension suitably enough for the trip until the correct ones can arrive. Anyway, I need to find some tools and crawl under this thing and see what we can do. Alright, so I'm underneath here, and what I thought was going to be my rattle is at the end of the suspension spring here, but the bushes are still there. Now, a while ago I did replace the steering damper bushes. These two guys here. That's where most of our rattle was coming from. But I think I found our rattle. It's this bit. So I think that's quite fine. That's just the shield on the damper. So we're going to do a few other things. My apprentice is going to help. Now, my apprentice should be at school today, but she had a bit of a crackly voice, and there's been a couple of tier 1 cases of COVID at a local I don't know, daycare centre. I can't remember what it was.
No, it was Harloon.
No, it wasn't Harloon. Anyway, she's had a crackly voice, so they sent her home, told her to get a COVID test, which, you know, I don't think she's got COVID, but we've got to follow the procedure. So I have my apprentice to help me work on the vehicle today. One thing I was going to show on camera that I did beforehand was the clutch over here. I took some spray pack chain oil that I use on my 8-wheel drive amphibious vehicle, and we removed the bolts. We can get to the top of the clutch pedal here, and sprayed it in to lubricate the 2 hinge points there. That stops the clutch pedal creaking and takes a little bit less pressure to push the clutch down now, which is nice. So we're just going to generally look over this, find anything that we really need to get to. Because I have multiple sclerosis and my energy is failing me, I'm paying a mechanic to change the oils and the diff and all that sort of stuff, or the diff oils and the coolant and stuff. I have previously had some coolant problems, and or what I thought was cooling problems. I had belt squeaking, which turned out to be the fan belt getting a little bit loose, and predominantly it was the secondary belt that's running the 24-volt alternator in here that was squeaking the most. In any case, one thing I did do is I got to this little thing here, which this is the temperature sensor for the temp gauge in the dash. This was corroded, so I pulled that off, sprayed some contact cleaner on there, gave the terminal a little bit of a squeeze with a pair of pliers, and put that back on. So the other thing I had to do was zip tie up this line here. This is the vacuum line over the top, and it was resting against one of the injectors here, and it was starting to wear through the vacuum line, so we don't want that. Now I have a roll of hose on board in case one of these things fails in the field. But yeah, we've got a few things to do, so let's go see what else we can do. Alright, apprentice, we're going to check some fluids. First thing we have to do is start with the radiator cap. You need to push that down and turn. So can you turn that? Yep. Now turn it that way. Now lift it off.
Can't.
Yep. Come all the way around, and then push one more time, and then it lifts off. Okay. So what we need to do here? No, it's all good. You can stand up there.
Can I see it?
Hop up on the ladder and have a look in. Now, can we see where the fluid is? I'm going to dip my finger in. It's a little bit down, so what we might do is we might get some demineralized water and top that up.
Oh, a warning.
Yeah, it doesn't matter too much because we're going to have the coolant change soon. We might put a little bit of demineralized water, so let's get some of that. Alright, now we need to add a little bit of water into that bottle. So here you go, apprentice. Do you want to help pour some water into that hole? I'll help hold this for you. Ready? Here we go. Just a look. Careful. Hang on.
You got it if the energy one.
It's alright. The battery will be fine. We'll pour a little bit in here. It doesn't need to be full. We just want a little bit more in there. Just so we don't get an airlock in the radiator.
Please. Ow. Stop.
No, we've still got a lot in there. Alright, good. It is actually almost full, but that's okay. When it gets hot, it will just expand out the overflow.
What?
Which is this pipe here. When it gets hot, what happens, this little springy valve pushes up. It will push out down that hole and it'll flow out the bottom. Alright, that's our coolant. Now, what we want to do, we want to check the next thing, which is power steering fluid.
Yeah.
Which is this one right here. Let's see. We'll adjust our camera a little bit. This is our power steering fluid. I'll get it loose. You need to unscrew that cap. Oh, look out, and we'll pull it out.
Wait, it's actually...
Yep. Move that hose. Okay.
Whoa.
Don't drop it. So we'll dry that off. And you see here, there's a couple of level markers. That's full, medium, and low. So what we do is we dip it in here, pull it out, and we look where it's wet to. It's wet to the full mark. Exactly full. So we have enough power steering fluid.
Cool.
Okay, now we want to check our brake fluid.
Yeah.
Which again, the mechanics are going to bleed the brakes for us. So we'll check this one. We'll lift the cover off. And in here there is brake fluid. And it should be up to the level on that hole there.
Oh, what?
That hole allows it to flow between the two.
This?
This is brake fluid. It's hydraulic fluid. When you pump the brakes, this big cylinder here, this uses vacuum from the engine. They'll push this fluid into the brake cylinders and they clamp a big metal pad on the brake discs and that helps you slow down.
Oh.
So without fluid in here, you can't stop the car. So, we'll wipe something off the top of our battery. How about we check our battery volts?
Yes.
We'll get our multimeter here. This is a clamp multimeter, but it can take probes as well. So,
Okay,
oh, stay there. We need you up here still.
okay, I can see from there now.
Okay, well we need you to do the multimeter.
Up high.
Black for common, red for input. Now, apprentice, we're going to select volts mode. That is volts, DC and AC. That's what that symbol means.
I'm an adult.
So we're in DC mode. Alright, well adult, come here and help me test the battery voltage. Okay, well actually how about you hold the meter and you read the value to me. I'm going to put the probes on here.
It's going too fast.
Okay, what does it say?
3001.
13.01. Is there a dot in there? Yep. Alright, so we've got 13 volts. That's very good for a battery. Probably not bad considering I had it idling earlier this morning.
Considering I can touch glass one there.
Alright, cool. Let's see what else we need to check. Okay, can you reach the dipstick from here? Can we? Or just? Okay, maybe I can pull it out for you. Alright, what we'll do, this is the dipstick for the engine. Okay, now grab this rag. Now, what we're going to do, I'll get you to wipe the oil off this dipstick. Okay, we're going to run it through the hand here, like this. Oh, hang on, you've got it all twisted up here. Yep. There we go. Run that through.
Whoa.
Okay, so this goes all the way into the engine.
How does it feel?
Now, wipe that bit. Wipe that bit clean. Yep. Okay, see how there's two holes in this? There's two holes here. That's the minimum oil level and that's the maximum oil level. So we're going to dip it into the oil and we're going to see how far up it is. Okay, so that goes all the way to the bottom of the engine where the oil sump is. When we pull it back out, we will see we're on the low mark of oil. We actually probably need to add some engine oil. That's not a problem because they're going to change the oil for me very soon. So, and that's also very cold, so the oil will expand a little bit when it gets hot. So, we might not put any more oil in this. We will wait 2 days until they do an oil change. Normally Daddy would do that, but...
Normally I've got to wash my hands.
Okay. We've got oil on the hands. Yes, as I said before, I'm letting somebody else do the oil change for the time being. because I'm not physically capable at the moment. Multiple sclerosis does have some drawbacks. In any case, this is a trusted friend who I know who will do it properly, and he's usually okay with me supervising. So yeah, so I've checked all the basics. All the niggly little things that I needed to do are pretty well done at this point. So this is a distinctly shorter video than I had planned. I had planned to be under here changing suspension bushes, but I don't apparently need to do that. My memory was a little bit off, and the jingle I'm hearing, I've explained that. So I'm just going to leave it like that, and we'll continue and find some other stuff to do. But yeah, anyway, hope it was an interesting video. This is an apprentice heavy one. We needed something for her to do today, so she can help do all this sort of stuff. At least it's got her washing her hands regularly, so whatever's caused that crackly throat, hopefully we won't get too. Alright, I'll see you in the next one.